everyone. I just want to say, wow. If you ever wondered what it was like to recover from hip replacement surgery, then follow me on this journey and I'll tell you the good and the bad. Welcome to our adventures after 60. My name is Tisa. Upcoming videos, you're going to see my husband, Tim, and we're going to take you on adventures with us. That doesn't always mean travel. That could be medical. That could be cooking. That could be Disney. That could be cruises. Could be a number of things because it's adventures after 60. That doesn't mean you have to stop living. You can still have fun. You may just have to do it in different ways. So we're going to explore those adventures and I hope you come with us. I'm just going to recap real quick. This is my second hip replacement. My first one was my left one in 2023, and here we are in 2026 doing my right one because he always told me my right one was worse than my left, but I didn't believe him. So let me just give you a recap on what happens. Of course, you will have a pre-op with your doctor. They will give you all your instructions the night before. Your surgery center or hospital will call you and let you know what time to be there. My time was 7 a.m. and my surgery was scheduled at 9. Did it happen at that time? Well, I had to start arriving 2 hours before my surgery. So as you can see, a little bit before 8, they took me back, put my IVs in, got me all dressed in my gown. The doctor came in and they will put a mark on whichever leg of surgery they're doing, and they'll talk to you about all your upcoming and that the anesthesiologist and all that will be coming in. Okay, they've rolled me back to surgery. The one thing I am going to tell you is if you're a little nervous about surgery and what's going to happen, whatever you do, don't look around the operating room because you will see some of the instruments that they're going to use. And unfortunately, they can be a little scary. Oh, do you see Bella back there? That is my dog. She's been great during the surgery. When I was with the walker, she followed behind me with the cane. Now she's not quite as cautious, but that is Bella. So you may see more of her. So anyway, that is one thing when you're rolled into the operating room, because I asked, I'm like, I don't want to see this stuff. And she said, well, if you don't want to see it, then close your eyes, which I didn't. I will say, whatever drugs they give you during surgery work really well. So they put a mask on me, and then she said, are you ready for your cocktail? I said, I am ready. So she does it. Next thing I know, I am waking up. Now, for my surgeon and surgery center, I had 3 tests that I had to pass before I could go home. And one of the first things, you have to bring with you to the hospital or the surgery center. Now, every doctor's different. Mine was a walker. Some were crutches. And remember, this is not medical advice. This is just my experience. So the first thing I had to do is they gave me something to drink and some crackers or something like that. Then they got me up and they said, we need you to sit in a chair. Now, because you're still coming off of all that anesthesia, they are right there with a belt around you, holding you up. At least mine were. Got over to the chair, sat down while they cleaned up my bed. Second test I had to do is they're like, okay, now we have to go to, for better things, TMI, to the bathroom. So we went in there and they want you to go. And so then after that, while I was in there, they dressed me. Third thing I had to do is they have this thing that is a sort of a step. I had to be able to walk up that step and walk back down it. Now for my surgeon, he gives a nerve block plus the anesthesia. So when I'm doing these 3 tests, there is no pain because there's a nerve block. So I passed the 3 tests. And they're like, great, you're ready to go home. And I even said to them, this is the only surgery that they make you walk out of here. And the nurse said, oh, you're not going to have to walk out. We will move you out with a wheelchair. So I passed the 3 tests, and it is time to go home and start the recovery. The fun part. I'm going to give you a second hint. When you go up and down the steps, it is up with the good leg, down with the bad leg, which seems a little odd. You would think it would be the other way. But again, it's up with the good leg, down with the bad. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you some of the things that I bought that have been so helpful through this recovery. I almost forgot. Earlier in the video, I told you my surgery time was 9. And I asked you if you thought if I was taken back at 9 o'clock. Well, guess what? It was closer to 10. Unfortunately, there was a little lady that was 2 before me, and her blood pressure went a little low, so they got a little bit behind. And the funny thing was, the guy that was in front of me, all I could hear from him in his little cubicle was huffing and puffing, because we didn't know really what the backup was, but it was. And I will give you another little hint, because I had to wait. Guess what happened? My anxiety level went through the roof. I wanted them to give me something. They really weren't for that, which was okay. So the best way that I worked that out was I breathed in and out very slowly, and that helped. But I finally went to surgery at 10 a.m. But guess what? I was home by 1 or 1:30 at the latest. So now let's get into the recovery. Well, we are finally home, 1:30. And of course, you're still quite tired from all the medicine and all the trauma that has happened to your leg. So now we're going to get into a little bit of my recovery, the daily challenges, the tips that I have that helped me throughout this. Right now it's 5 weeks out. So one thing that we are taught when you have a hip surgery is getting in and out of the car and in and out of your bed, because you have to move your body as one unit, which is hard because you have to use your upper arms. So it is tough. First day, you pretty much rest. You're not really real hungry or want to do a whole lot of things, but you rest. By the next day, for me, home health PT was here to examine me, to get me up, let's start moving, which I knew that from my left hip. I will give you another hint. I think this is the 4th hint. My anesthesiologist told me, because I had my left hip done, do not compare the right hip recovery to the left. Because here's a clue. My left hip, within 2 weeks, I wasn't using a cane, I wasn't using a walker, I was driving, I was moving. I am 5 weeks out now. I am on a cane for long distance, but at short distance, I'm without it. So it's definitely been a different recovery. So you just have to, if this is your second one, remember, it may not be the same as the first one. Okay, so they come out, they get you moving, they get you your blood pressure, teach you how to get in and out of your bed, and things like that. So the big point of a hip surgery is every hour you get out of your bed and walk, and you ice. Ice is your friend. Now, the first week, I needed help to use the bathroom. The first week, because I don't think I could take a shower for 48 hours or something like that. I needed help. By the end of the second week, I didn't need help in that area. My husband just stayed close by if I needed help. So those were two things the first 2 weeks you're most likely going to need help with. Next hint, if you're involved with a church or you have friends or co-workers or whatever it may be that offer to do a meal train or bring you meals, please do it, especially at least for the first week. I've never really had to have that done, and it was a little humbling, but I will say it was such a blessing and such a help that for myself or my husband, we did not have to think about dinner, what we were going to have. All we had to do was heat it up, and it was great. So I would highly urge you, if you have people offering to bring you dinners, let them do it at least the first week. So here's a few little of the dinners that we received throughout that week. We had, lasagna, we had chicken parm, we had tater tot casserole. Let's see what else we had. We had rotisserie chicken from Publix with some sides. Somebody had Carrabba's delivered. So it was such a big help. So whatever you do, don't turn that down. You're going to need it. Now, my surgeon gave me, I think I had maybe 8 different prescriptions, which you got to understand, I don't take medicine very much at all. So that was a lot of medicine. So I learned from the last hip replacement. My husband, of course, is a financial person. So he put it in a spreadsheet when I was supposed to take it, if I took it, when the last day was. I had things like aspirin I had to take twice a day for blood clots. I had an antibiotic for the first 5 days, but there's a story coming that I had to go back on the antibiotics, which wasn't fun. There was one other one, I can't even think what it was, that I had to take regularly. Then there's several of them, 3 of them I think, that I took as needed. A muscle relaxer, gabapentin for nerve pain, and oxycodone. And I will say, thank the good Lord, I never had to take the oxycodone. I did take the gabapentin a couple days during the first week or 2. The muscle relaxer I took once or twice. And then I had meloxicam, which was for inflammation and pain. I did take that pretty regularly for a couple weeks, but my surgery was June 10th. July 10th, I was finished all medications, even the second dose of antibiotics. So what I'm going to let you know is if you're a little squeamish, you might want to look away, because I'm going to show you why I had to go on an extra 10 days worth of antibiotics. So here we go. Close your eyes, fast forward, or if you want to see it. Now again, this was related to the glue and the bandage that they used on me. So here we go. After the 2 weeks PT at home, you then, at least for me, again, your doctor may be different, I started doing physical therapy outside. Problem this time around, it's my right leg, so I could not drive yet, so I needed somebody to take me to PT. I did it twice a week, or I am doing it twice a week. Fortunately, my husband works from home. For mine, I started with outpatient physical therapy probably in my 3rd week, I guess it was. I've done 6 sessions now for physical therapy. I think my doctor gave me 12, so I don't know if I'll need 12, but they're there. So that has started. which has been going well. Fortunately, at least my experience, the pain of hip replacement has not been excruciating. And if you remember, I did not have to take any of the hard stuff. Did I have to take Tylenol or Meloxicam to calm things down? Yes. But for the most part, it has not been, neither hip was very painful. So that's a good thing. I don't know why it is. It could be the different approaches. Talk to your doctor, because there are 3 different approaches: anterior, posterior, and lateral. And again, I'll show you mine. I had anterior, which means they don't cut a lot of your muscles, so you don't have that pain. So that was a good thing. So you just have to, the whole crux of recovering from hip surgery is moving. Get up and move. And even if you don't want to. Okay, we're going to talk about, oh, it's a little crooked, the emotional part of this. For me, that's been more of the struggle than the pain of the surgery. I know that they told me not to compare the 2 surgeries because this was my second one. But it's been really hard because the second one, again, as I said, 2 weeks out, I was good. I was driving. I wasn't using anything. I'm 5 weeks out now. I go back to the doctor on Monday. So probably as of Monday, I'll be able to at least start driving again. The emotional part of this has been hard. Even if you have people at home, it gets lonely because they don't understand. They see your progress. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't see our progress. So there's been times that it's been lonely. There's been times that I just wanted to give up. I don't know what I thought I was going to do, because if you give up, it just takes even longer. So I don't really know what I thought I was going to do when I was going to quit. But in my mind, I knew I wasn't. But in my mind also, and some of it, I will say, will probably be from the medication. But some of it because there will be good days and there will be bad days. Today, as I'm recording this, it's a great day. I've hardly used my cane at all. When I finish all this, I'm going to do some more icing. But just know, when that anxiety or depression hits, or loneliness, it's okay. You will get through it. It does get better because at some point in time, your mind switches and sees the progress that you're making. So if you have any questions on that part, feel free to message me. But just try to know that some of those feelings are normal. Your body has had trauma to it. And you think, at least I was like, okay, surgery's done. I've done a couple things of PT, I'm good. This time it did not work that way, and I had to accept that. Once I accept it, like, okay, whatever. We're going to just do what we need to do, move forward, and go from there. So just know that if you hit a spot, and it's probably, for me, it was like somewhere between the 3rd and 4th week, because you're like done. You just want this to be over, that it hit. So just know that that's normal and you will get through it. At this point, I am going to give you some of those tips that I told you about that will be very, very helpful in your recovery. I will show you some pictures of some things that I bought that has been helpful. But one of the things I will say is if you have rugs all over your house that you can pick up, you're going to want to pick them up, because the last thing you want to do with this surgery is fall. So just put them away before surgery, pull them back out when you need it. Second, if you have a pet, I showed you Bella a little while ago. Bella likes to lay up against my leg. When I had the left hip done, it was not a problem. This time with the right hip, I wasn't quite sure how it was going to work out, but it did. I just kept a pillow between my leg and her, so she really wasn't laying on it. When I was walking around in the walker, I think she was afraid of it, so she just kind of stayed away. And when I got to the point of the cane, she doesn't seem to be too afraid of that, so she just gets in my way. So I have to be a little bit more careful. And then we talked about the emotional things and gave you those tips. So I'm going to show you some video now and some pictures of things that I bought that helped me through this process. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. I am at 5 weeks at the recording of this video. So as time goes on, if need be, I will give you an update. But one of my upcoming videos is going to be, because I am turning 65 next Saturday. And my husband has surprised me with a Disney trip. So we're going to video that and let you know what it's like to go to Disney 6 weeks out from surgery. I will give you a hint. I did rent a scooter. So stay tuned for the upcoming vlogs, because it's going to show you what rides I could ride, how I got around in this silly scooter, which I don't want, but I told you that I accepted this and this is just what it is. And the things that there is to do if you're planning on, whether it's Disney or wherever you're planning on going, you can do it. Our adventures after 60, even after hip replacement, do not have to stop. We may have to do it differently, but we can still move on. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below and subscribe so you can see those upcoming vlogs from Disney, because I'm a little interested in how this is going to work. I've never driven one of these scooters, so we're going to show you all about that. So thanks for watching and have a blessed day.